Hi, it's Chris from 5252 Motorsports, and today's bit of lunacy is trying to get over 500 horsepower out of a completely standard Vortech supercharger kit. So what we've ended up doing here is, a while ago we installed the Vortech kit and built the VQ up with the usual CP pistons, eagle rods, all the ARP stuff, some good head gaskets. And we ran at about 395 wheel horse for a while on the stock pulley. So a lot of guys online have said you got to upgrade the blower to get over 500. So we kind of took it upon ourselves to see if we could accomplish this mission. So we ended up with a 2.8-inch blower pulley, which was sort of the only big change we made to the car. The other thing was the Vortech air cleaner. No offense to Vortech, but I mean, packaging-wise, they were sort of limited to basically putting something about that big right on the end of the supercharger. It might be fine for a 1.4 liter, but this is 3.5 liters of VQ. So we did one dyno pull before with no air filter and ended up picking 30 wheel horsepower. So we figured, you know what, we're going to need more filter. And we ended up building a custom intake assembly which hides right behind the grille and the front bumper, just on top of the intercooler. So we wanted to see how well that was going to work. And I mean, it's a real nice simple car. Stock wheels, white, modified headlights are about the only thing that give it away. It's got a set of headers, possibly a set of test pipes in it. Decent build. So let's see what it made. So as you can see, we achieved our goal here. 395 is what it left with, and we're now at 516 horse. And it's right from the bottom end up, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. So you can see the stock Vortech kit comes in around 8.5 pounds, and we're touching just over 13.5. But the nice thing about the pulley, and what you're going to see after this is the torque curve, is it just keeps building boost a whole lot earlier. This motor's 8.5 to 1, so it's totally going to put up with a little bit of added stress down low. So let's take a look at torque. Pretty impressive torque, especially for a centrifugal blower. We hit about 418 pounds, up from the previous best of just over 340. But I mean, that's a curve. Starts right from the bottom, keeps going up. We run at a peak V at about 6,000 on the stock head, and it's just a gradual slope away. So this is going to be a monstrously quick street car. Nice thing about centrifugal blowers too, basically, as opposed to having all the torque of the turbo kick in at lower RPM, these guys sort of act like an amplifier to the natural power band. So it's faster, and it just keeps getting faster the harder you step on the throttle. For this guy too, we're actually using Vortech's first generation 350Z system. So this guy lacks the throttle control that the newer system has and a couple of the other bells and whistles, but it's still got functional intake cam target. So we ended up ramping up the cams fairly decently in the bottom end, and then we realized we were sort of at a power cap. So with the Brian Crower Stage 2s, we ended up dumping everything to -3, which was about its happy place up top. And the thing just kept picking up power until the 516 was achieved. Nice thing about the Vortech too is we're data logging everything with one of the CAN widebands, logging the boost, the air-fuel ratio, the cam targets, knock, the entire nine. So really happy with the system, even though now it's 7 years old and they've got an upgraded version. It's still doing the job. So all in all, we're pretty stoked on the Nissan, because these cars run about, usually on our dyno, 245 wheel horse stock. This guy's doing more than double that. It's going to be a serious sleeper and a lot of fun for the customer.